Take two, episode 45, Trev's Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. You know that. If you're tuning in, if you're watching, it's too sweet. Anyway, two things before I begin. First, congrats in order to the Seattle Sounders, who convincingly beat Toronto FC on Sunday 3-1 to win their second MLS Cup. So, as soon as I get more color ink in my printer, all those banners up there will be in order, and you'll see a full Seattle representation here. And B, I'm not going to talk about Don Cherry at all. And here's why. I don't want to include politics in my channels. I've said that on my main channel time and time again, and I'm saying it here now. I don't want to include politics in my channels. It's not because I'm not political, because really I'm not. It's just that I was once, and I don't have the energy to give to politics anymore. But I'm getting completely off point. It's today's episode. Since Nashville and Dallas have gone ahead and released their Winter Classic jerseys, I figured, and I've been working on this for quite a bit, I figured I'd at least go over my Winter Classic jersey rankings. And I'm well aware they play these every year. And I'm well aware that there's already 24 designs. 23 technically, but I'll get into that when we get into the list. I'm well aware of that, but I'm not going to update it every year. I'll maybe update it every second year, maybe every third year, provided I'm still on YouTube by then. There's hoping. But I'm not going to rush to update this every time a new jersey comes along. I'll give it some time, let those new jerseys sink in, kind of like I've done with this. I've given the Dallas Nashville jerseys about a week to really sink in before I could really say this is my final standing. But either way, I'm going to try and rank them 24-1. So with me today, like as usual with videos like this, it's Melissa's handy dandy tablet, and I am again exploring NHLUniforms.com. If you ever want to check out your team's threads over the years, going back to the beginning of the NHL, you can do just that. Right there. 1718, all the way to the modern era. Just go to NHLUniforms.com and have a look for yourself. So I know I'm starting this list with 24 and 23. I'll explain why. 24 comes from the 2015 Winter Classic against Washington. Very resemblant of their 57-58 design. Very basic, you know. Really pay attention to that. Number 23 is really not that different. Number 23 is in 2017. It's essentially the same jersey. I'll show you. Oh, I'm going but too far back. 2015, 2017, 15, 17. So yeah, same jersey, just 17, they included the black trim. So that's why I started this list off with essentially the same jersey and gave it 2 spots. Number 22, 2010 Philadelphia Flyers. Essentially, this was their old design, just brought back under the Reebok structure, which essentially became their primaries afterwards. But yeah, no, it really wasn't any different than anything they'd just come off of visually as far as jerseys were concerned. This was their old jersey, just given the black nameplate treatment instead of just black letters. Original. I almost feel a guilty little pleasure here, including Philadelphia in the bottom 5. Two times in the bottom 5. Apparently, for the 2012 idea, they got the idea off of a sock So if a sock inspired them to make a jersey, that's pretty thoughtful. But not a bad design, just not a big time favorite, I guess would be the easiest way to put it. Number 20 on this list, 2018 Rangers. And I know they don't really have a lot to go back on as far as in the well is concerned, but I feel like they could have done so much more than just this. I mean, when you just take away the New York patch, you take away the Rangers word font, you're really not working with much other than just your lines. But I don't know, I think they could have done a lot more instead of just what they gave us. My thought anyway. Going back to the beginning here. 2008 Sabres. It's not that it's a bad jersey. It's just this was what they wore when I grew up watching hockey for my teenage life, so it really wasn't anything special that I hadn't seen. But at the same time, like again, it's not a bad jersey. And I imagine for the Sabres diehards, it would have probably been very nice to see them going back to royal blue as opposed to the navy blue you've been given. But it's not that it's a bad jersey. It's just there's better jerseys ahead of it, and it really wasn't anything different. I was really hoping for more when this came out. I was actually hoping they'd have went to the 75th anniversary jersey and got the idea from there, but they went very minimal, and I guess less is more. I mean, take away the lines, and all you've got is just basics. I mean, it could have stood some color, but I get where they were going, so I guess they can't really be faulted. I told myself when this came out, give it time, it might grow on you, so I think maybe I just have to give it a bit more time, because it hasn't really grown on me yet. Number 17. 2014 Maple Leafs. I get where they were going with this, but really throws me off is that awkward shaped maple leaf. And I get it, this is how it was back in the day, but it just looks so awkward to me. Other than that, I loved it. I mean, it wasn't a bad jersey, and it pains me almost to say that because it is Toronto, but not a bad jersey, not the best jersey, but they could have did better than that awkward looking leaf. Ugh. Oh, memories. 2011 Washington. Now I know what you're saying. How can you put this one ahead of other ones that just look basic and original and whatever else? It's simple. I'm slightly biased towards the Caps. As a guy who used to be a hardcore fan, it was good to see the Stars and Sticks come back. It really was. And with the amount of money I won on this game, of course I'm going to put this one a little higher. But at the same time, it could have been better. But at the same time, it wasn't that bad at all. I love this jersey. Number 15. 2016 Bruins. This one is... Come on, folks. There we go. This one's inspired by their inaugural jerseys. And this one almost was a really, really good jersey. I mean, if this was in white and there was brown or black with the same crest, that'd have been awesome too. But I love what they did with it. It was as nice as Winter Classic jerseys as there is out there. And I mean, it's not because it's placed at 15th, it's not that it's bad. It's just there's better jerseys than this one, and Boston is really good with Winter Classic jerseys. You'll see this as we get further. Going back to 2014, Detroit. I love the fancy number font. I really do. This was the same font they wore in the 82-83 season, and I think I've seen a couple preseason games since then, none lately, where they wear the fancy font. Now in the preseason they wear the fancy numbering something. Now they wear the fancy font, but Back then they wore the fancy numbering. The basis of the jersey is from one of their inaugural seasons, obviously. But I love the blue versus red concept of that game. It made it so much easier to follow. And I can imagine for anybody actually sitting there and watching the game, following it blue, red, it was probably a nice treat. Now, I gave Montreal a lot of crap in the Stadium Series, or not Stadium Series, the Heritage Classic jersey rankings, and this time I feel like they kind of vindicated themselves. This was a nice design. This is based off their 23-24 design. Even has the globe on the arm that they wore to announce that they were Stanley Cup champs. But for Montreal, this was a nice design. I liked it. It was clean. It was crisp. There were just, and it pains me to say this, for Montreal, there's not enough nice things I can say about this. Like, if they made this a regular thing and wore it a little more often, that would be awesome. But I don't make these decisions. They do. Hopefully they're listening. Almost ironic. We're at number 12 for the 2012 Winter Classic. Now, I remember earlier I was saying they don't really have a lot to go back on. But when they go back to this, the crest logo, that's a nice treat. And I think ultimately that's what saves this jersey, is the crest. If it would have just been Rangers in one of their fonts, I don't know if I would have had it as high up. But seeing this was a nice thing to see. Back to 2018. Buffalo almost vindicates themselves from the 2008 Classic. This is a nice Sabres jersey. And who would have thought extra lines made all the difference? Could you imagine if that was just yellow and it was a little thicker? Do you think that would have worked as well? I don't know, but I like that design as is. The big buffalo on the shoulder, I can even live with. Nice design, nice design. Cracking the top 10. And this is one of your newer entries. Nothing bad that I can really say about this, other than if this was in yellow and that was in white, I might have liked it a little more. But having said that, this isn't bad at all. Like, I mean, for it to be in my top 10, that's pretty impressive. But either way, love what they did. It's a shame it's not yellow. I mean, if you imagine the same thing in that, it would work. But this works too. So I like it. I like what they did with it. Hopefully they wear it more. I'm not doing this number thing on purpose. Number 9 from 2009. This I love. This we could have lived without. If this was just basic white with red here and red at the bottom, I'd have been okay with that. But in a sense, it almost complements it, but at the same time, you pay more attention to it. But the jerseys themselves, those are beautiful. Like, that is just, you could not ask for a better design. You could not ask for a better layout. And I mean, the fact that it's number 9 means there are 8 more jerseys above this that are nicer than this, in my mind anyway. But love the design. Love the design. Q Barney Gumble. Number 8. Number 8. Yeah, I know. 2017. This worked well. The fact that it was their 50th anniversary as well only helped complement it that much more. And I mean, obviously, inaugural design, feel, all that fun stuff. But I love this jersey. This is actually currently one of those ones that I am trying to hunt down at a reasonable price, but I like it. I really do. Number 7. And this might actually shock you. Pittsburgh. This is different than this. So seeing this was a nice welcome change. And I almost hate to say it. It looks good. It really does. I mean, I almost get the itchy saying that, but at the same time, from a visual aesthetic, you know, when you have the haters saying it looks good, that's something. And I mean, like Boston, they never really get the Winter Classic jerseys wrong. We'll talk about that later. I don't know if you remember me saying Boston really doesn't do bad on Winter Classic jerseys. This is no exception. Who would have thought brown would make all the difference? And it works. It worked so well. It was visually pleasing. It was nice to look at. The fact that it was that yellow didn't really bother me at all. I mean, it worked so well with the jersey and the game as a whole, capturing the Bruins' identity. You know, it works. It works then. It worked now. I wish they'd go back to something like this for a third, but you know, maybe it's one of those things where you can only wear it so long. I mean, I think they did wear it a couple more times, and it might have took away the feel of what it was designed for, but at the same time, it's a nice jersey to look at. Cracking the top 5. So would it surprise you that I have the 2015 caps up here? It shouldn't. That was a unique take on an original jersey, and I wish they'd wear this more. I mean, yeah, it's a couple years old, almost 5 now, but still, it's one of the nicer jerseys they've ever had in their set. And I don't know, aesthetically, it works so well. It works not so much because of the lines, but more so for the simplistic idea of the symbol. Like, it's not saying too much, it's not saying not enough. It's perfect, just the way it is. Now, number 4, I was kind of debating this one, whether I'm putting it too high to begin with, but I'm going to try it anyway. 2020 Stars. And I think what makes this one work is not so much the inside collar that has the state flag of Texas, which I failed to mention in my reaction video. It's the pants. The fact that they're beige, the fact that they have leather gloves with green writing on it. It does the trick. Like, it doesn't make it too gaudy to look at. It doesn't make it horrible. It complements it, and I think that was the idea. But I don't know. Maybe time will tell if I'm putting too much stock into this jersey already, but I think it's a very nice design. Number 3. And this one should come as no surprise. I'm a sucker for jerseys that look exactly like the 75th anniversary jerseys that the original 6 teams wore. And this is probably the closest I've seen to that version of the jersey from the Bruins since then. And I'm not disappointed. Not at all. Like, it's a beautiful jersey. It's so simplistic that it's beautiful. I'm not mad about the barber poles going up the sleeves. It complements it again. It's just one of those ones that just works so well that if they brought it back, that'd be so nice. Number 2. And this is a scary number 2. Not that it's because it's number 2, but because this could have been number 1. 2011 Penguins. Remember I was saying, much like the Bruins, the Penguins don't get the Winter Classic jerseys wrong? This one is no exception. The logo itself, I remember buying this jersey once upon a time. The logo itself is a felt feel. The blue on white, on the darker blue, oh, for anybody who likes the color blue, this is paradise. I should know I like the color blue, but it's a nice jersey. I'm not going to give it the beautiful status because it is Pittsburgh, but it's a very nice looking jersey. Number 1 on this list, and if you've been following, you know exactly where I'm going. 2009 Blackhawks. What can I say that hasn't been said about this jersey? The off-white just accents the red, which with the black on top, oh, beauty, beauty. The amount of color inside that logo, a thing of amazingness. And yeah, it was just a fun jersey to look at. It's on my list of jerseys to get, but we'll discuss that list at a different day, I'm sure. Beautiful looking jersey. Beauty, beauty, beauty. So that was episode 45 of Trev's Hockey Show. I hope you found this entertaining. I know I did. It was so nice I made it twice. But again, shout out to NHLuniforms.com. If you want to check out your jerseys from your team in past years, or if you just want to check out the general jersey database of every team in the league, this is your site to do it. And yeah, it's just a fun thing to look at if you're a jersey hound, or if you're somebody who just enjoys looking at nice jerseys. If that's your thing, right? Right. But if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Give me your rankings. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, do you agree with mine? Or are they close to, on par? Where do you think I'm a wingnut on this? Because I imagine there's a few in there that you're just kind of like, well, why is that one so low? But reasons. Either way, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, there's that red button right over there. We're so close to 50. We're halfway to 50, so I know for some that's not a big thing, but for me, for this small little channel of mine, it's a thing. It's a thing. Feel free to find me on Facebook at Trev's Trade Page. You can find the parent channel on Facebook at Trev's TV. You can find me on Instagram at Rockstar Trev TV. As far as moving forward with, as pertains to Jersey episodes, which are a huge favorite of mine, which I'm not complaining about at all. There's still more thirds coming. There's still Stadium Series jerseys to go through, and I'm debating when they release the All-Star jerseys if I should do one of those, or if they're going to do the same thing where they did last year where every team's in black and white. I don't know, but either way, in the meantime, and in between time, be on the lookout for more videos from the Trev. Later.